He mad. Funny. Bingo Bango Bongo, it's Multiplier here. Yes, Bingo Bango Bongo. It happened for the first time right now in the new studio. Exciting. Right, so what is going on in this video? It's sort of a multi-dimensional video. So first of all, Cymatics asked me do a video on Vibes, their new product. So I thought, yeah, so I'm doing a video about that. But also, I'm going to tell you a useful bit of Serum knowledge inside of that. So I'll show you some sounds, and then I'll tell you portamento is the technical term. The non-technical term is slidey-glidey. So yeah, it's a really useful feature about synthesis, not just Serum, but synthesis in general. Wowzers trousers, look at that multiplier. And yeah, it's especially useful for these styles of sounds because the whole new Cymatics Vibes pack it's like a future bassy chill vibes even. It's a chilled out sound, great for, to be honest, most genres, all those non-aggressive genres. That's what this pack is fantastic for. And also, as a little bit of a side note, a tangent related to the whole multiplier thing. Yes, I've ordered a whole bunch of new stuff for the studio. I'm ordering some acoustic foam today. I've ordered the chairs. I've got a whiteboard in the studio, which I can show you in another video. I've got the cable ties ordered. In fact, they're already here. USB extensions, all sorts of stuff. So the studio is still evolving. Don't worry. Oh, you're worrying, don't you worry. But I'll leave all that studio stuff till another video. This video is all about Cymatics Vibes and portamento, aka slidey glidey. Jibber jabber complete, let's get into some sounds. Right, cool, so let me do, we'll press the button by accident, let me do major pentatonic D as the scale because I like major pentatonics. It's all floaty on a cloudy, bounce aroundy bubbles and thing. That's the sort of vibe that scale has, and that suits Vibes as a style of sound. So, mouse went to the top, and let me do a click on a sound. Should I choose them random? To be honest, I haven't really learnt them all because it's a brand new pack, but I've had a good look through these. Most of them are pretty good. In fact, most of them are very good. What one shall I click? And I shall let you choose Drippy Cave. That one sounds drippy. Let's do that. So. Oh, way better down. Don't press that one, press this one, right? This is important. This is also supplementary knowledge. When you're trialing out presets, you've got to try it on every octave of the keyboard because some presets only really work in one octave and there's no way of predicting it normally. So, yeah, this sounds way better low. Fantastic, fantastic. That's cool, that's cool. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right, cool. In fact, I was going to show you two sounds. Let me show you one more sound and then I'll show you portamento, aka slidey glidey. Let's get into it. Right, cool. What other presets have good names to them? So, name bubbles. Bubbles are quite nice. Should we click bubbles? Wowzers trousers. CPU, relax. Oh, the reason why it's doing that, just in case you're wondering, is the unison is insanely high with this particular preset. The unison is like 15 and 11. That means oscillator A has been generated 15 times and oscillator B has been generated 11 times. And that's just a lot of stuff for Serum to do. I mean, it's not magic. It has to do a lot of stuff. So, lot of stuff. I'm gonna show you another sound, simply because that one doesn't demonstrate portamento very well. That's more of a plucky thing. Portamento works best for longer tings. So, Adeu? That's Drew. I wonder if Drew made it. Adeu? Adieu. Is that how you say it? Adieu? Adieu. Whatever his name is. Flip. Let's do a click. Oh, based on me. I get it. Coolies, coolies, coolies. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I like it. Right, cool. So let me show you Portamento, aka slide. Now, this is a concept that isn't specific to Serum, but it applies to the whole of the world of synthesis in the universe. And what it means is it's sliding from one note to the next. So let me show you how it works in Serum. In Serum Zoom Effect, you have this section here where it says Porta, short for Portamento. And what that means is if always isn't selected, in fact, shall I do this other way around, rewind, other way around, right, cool. So let's select always, which isn't the default. And therefore, because Portamento is got a value attached to it, then that means it will slide from one note to the next all the time. So if I press one note, even if I leave a gap, see how it then slid up to the next one? If I change the Portamento time to much longer, such as a second or so, hear that slide down, ready for the slide up. Wowzers, trousers. See how it's sliding around? That's Portamento, aka slidey, slidey, glidey, glidey. In all seriousness, it is called glide in quite a few other synthesizers, but I call it slidey, glidey because that's more fun. Deal with it, people. And yes, let me also give you some useful tips before I show you some other sounds. In general, the way that, not in general, factually, the way that Steve Duda, the genius that he is, has set up Portamento is logical. He used his brain. Most other synth designers don't use their brain. He realized the function of Portamento, that sometimes Portamento is quick, which gives you an attack to the sound. You don't hear it as a constant slide. Whereas if you have a long Portamento time, you hear it as this pitch bend, essentially. And the really, really cool thing about Serum is everything to the right of halfway are times that you will hear as a slide. Everything to the left of halfway are times that you won't consciously hear as a slide, but instead they'll just give your sound a bit of attack or a bit of something at the front that you kind of hear, but not as a conscious sliding. Let me show you what I mean. So if I have it all the way, say, well, not all the way, but quite a lot to the right, hear that sliding up. Bit too far then, let's ease back. So you can hear that sliding from one note to the next, whereas if you have it to the left, I mean, you might have heard it, but you don't hear it as a slide. It's just a bit of attack to the sound. Almost like a pitch envelope. Coolies, wowzers, trousers, bingo, bango, bongo. Also, there's the always button. That's quite important. If always is selected, then it will always slide from one note to the next, even if there's a gap between MIDI notes. If always is turned off, such as that, by clicking it, you can just click it to turn it off, then it will only do the Portamento slidey glidey if the notes overlap. Jazz hands, right, cool. So let me show you some more sounds. And actually, I mean, a good percentage of these do have Portamento set up, and that's cool. But it's nice to know about it. That way, if you find a preset and you want to tweak it a bit to your liking, you can use it using multiplier knowledge. Pan flute, you can make tropical house with this. See what I mean? Different octaves for different presets. Ooh, you could be Kygo in like 1 second. Oh, not that one, this one. Okay, I'm not as good as Kygo at playing melodies, because he's a genius, right? So, but you can see if you're good at because Kygo's genius is in his melodies and his like piano playing and stuff with his pitch bend. I can't do pitch bends and stuff live like he can. Oh, no, right, just this little octave. Right, this is confusing because I'm in a weird, it's probably a technical name for it, like a 5-note scale. So it's like only this bit is like an octave. So the whole thing's like crazy loads of octaves because of the scale I've chosen. So I have to be really careful not to do too many different. Fantastic, let's do another sound, except not a tropical house one, just because I've already done one of those. Let me do I don't know what to choose. I don't know what to choose. Fairy dust. What about how I have fairies? Ooh. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me do another one, because these sounds are nice. I mean, it's always going to be personal preference. I mean, some people love the growls and the wah, but I mean, to me, I prefer like bloop. That's more my sort of style. That is why this is my favorite pack. So yeah, that's just personal preference. But should we do some plucks? Ooh, what's a Catchuaby? Oh, I don't know what that is, but I want to click it, right? Whatever that is. It's not even, it's a sequence even. Oh, well, that is really good. It's really quiet. Let me just turn that up a bit. Oh, I like that. Here's a fun little tip as well. What you can do with Portamento, see so much knowledge here, your mind's exploding, right? So one of the really, really cool things you can do with Portamento that people tend to ignore is you can have polyphonic Portamento. So if you're pressing one note and then you're holding it down, then you press another note, it then slides up to that note while still playing the previous one, which is really cool, especially useful for future bass and all those sort of like chill genres and stuff. So if I have monophony turned off, so just turn off the mono button, and then let's crank up the porta time. So see, tweaking presets. You're allowed to tweak presets. You can tweak presets. All the pros do it. Oh no, legato. Shall I explain legato? This video will get very, very long if I explain legato as well. Explaining two things, multiplier. What sort of maniac are you? I'll explain it in one sentence. Legato is, I was going to explain it in two right there. Right. Oh, so one sentence, supposed to be one sentence, right? Legato is Italian, I think, maybe. It's some sort of other language for tying things together. So typically you hit legato if you don't want your modulations to restart when you trigger a new MIDI note. So if you're playing like a trill or something and you don't want your modulation to restart, that's when you typically hit legato. I must do a full video on it because that doesn't help too much. That's just words. You want to know applications. So let's just turn it off for the time being. See, and now they're getting offset, and that's cool. Oh, that's too long of a portamento. See how the second note is offset against the first? That's only possible because of legato, because otherwise legato would mean the same modulation was just continuing. So does that make any sense? Maybe. It's cool though, I really like this sound. It's the sort of thing that could start a track, you know? I'm just really feeling this. It's good. Straight up, straight up. I'm feeling this. I like it, I like it, I like it. There's a handful, in all seriousness, there's a handful that I don't like. But it is only a handful. I spent a good hour earlier just digging through these. Really, really cool. Should I do another one? Should I do one more? Can you handle it? Can you handle it? Yes, you can. No, you can't. That's it. If you like the sound of that and many other things, click the link below to Cymatics. Get loads of bonuses and other launch exciting things to get you to click. Click the link below if you like the sound of that, etc. Oh yeah, also tell me what you think of the new angle. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it? I'm going to experiment as part of the new studio. Still a much of a work in progress right now. Don't worry. Many things will happen. But yes, let me know what you think of the camera angle. I'm kind of undecided. It's not bad. It's not fantastic. I just don't know. But yeah, all I know is this pack is my favorite. Purely personal preference. It might not be your favorite. If you like aggressive dubstep sounds, then this pack is not for you. You want to get another pack. But if you like sort of floaty chill music, which I personally do, then yeah, check it out, check it out. Should I play another sound? I feel like I should, but I'm not going to. But yes, that is it for this video. In fact, let me show you one. Right, that's some sort of like weird sort of, with the chair out the way, some weird bonus to the video. Sometimes as a bonus little tip for making chilled out music, my favorite type of music is chilled music. It's just I mean, I live in the nature. I love nature, chilled things, bubbles, bright colors. That's just what I like. So yes, sometimes if you're making chilled music, you get too chilled and then you need to kind of angle yourself up again. So what you need to do is just draw some sort of like really angry monkey, and then you look at it and go, ah, monkey, and then just that kind of levels you out again back to normal. Otherwise you get too chilled, so that's just prick little monkey. Oh, I've got an idea. Get out the way, you stupid chair. Oh, how can I don't know how much you can see. Oh, it's too small. Hashtag Cymatics, right, check this out. Can you read that? Can you read that? I can barely read that. It says getter, so. And then. Oh, I need to do that thing that teachers do where, you know, they're like, don't stand in front of it when they're right. I haven't learned that yet, so. He mad. Funny. Getter. He mad because of Cymatics. Have you had your head in the sand for the last week?